Hello everyone. So welcome back to the order of primes. We are dealing with chapter 16 perimeter and area from the publication of ML Aggarwal 7th grade ICSE. So we already know a few of the example of the formulas. As we go through the video, we will see we will revise the formulas. And now we are going to look at the exercise 16.1 directly. It's on page number 294. Please understand that we are not doing all the problems of the exercise. We'll be doing a select few. The rest you have to work it out on your own. That gives you the confidence to do it while you're doing your exam, and also gives you a better understanding. A maths question, please understand this point. You can keep doing it 5 times, and with each time you will learn something better in that problem, something new in that problem, and that is the beauty of maths. All right, so the first question of this exercise is, one second, just do the selection. Yeah, okay. So now the first question over here is ABCD is a square of side 24 centimeters. You can see the adjoining figure ABCD. Each side is 24 centimeter, and there is a line EF which is parallel to BC and AE, and it is equals to 15 centimeters. So that means EF is parallel to AD. Now the first bit of the question asks for the perimeter of AEFD and how much does it exceed the perimeter of EBCF. So what you have to do over here is you need the perimeters of AEFD and also EBCF. There are 2 ways of solving this problem. We will go through both the ways. All right, so now according to the problem we have the data given, that is each side is 24 centimeters for ABCD. Okay, and this is again 24. Now AE is given as 15 centimeters. We're going to write it inside the rectangle. Keeps things simple. Now if out of 24 15 is AE, then what is left? EB. How much will that be? That will be 24 minus 15, isn't it? So that makes it 9. So we know directly now that EB is 9. So if EB is 9, then FC is also 9, and AE is 15. That means FD is also 15. So now we can start with the perimeter of AEFD. Now we know the perimeter of a rectangle is what? 2 into L plus B. What is L? L given is 24 and breadth given is 15. So while we are substituting the values, 2 into L, that's 24, plus 15, 2 into 9, 3, 39. So that will be 2 into 39 is 2 9s are 18, 1 carries here, 2 3s are 6, 7, 78 centimeter. So perimeter of AEFD is 78 centimeters. It is a very good habit to box your answers. You will not lose them. So now we need the perimeter of EBCF. Again, perimeter is 2 into L plus B. Substituting the values. What is for EBCF? What is the length? It's 24, but what is the breadth? It's 9. You see the breadth of EB? It's 9. So it's 24 plus 9, which is 2 into 24 plus 9 would be 33, which is 66 centimeters. Again, we box it. Boxing them again. So now it wants to find out how much does the perimeter of AEFD exceeds the perimeter of EBCF. So that will be 78 exceeds 78 minus 66, which will be 12 centimeters. That's your answer. The second method we will show you. Let's first do the second bit. Now the second bit asks for the area of AEFD. Okay. Now again, let's keep the values ready. So the length is 24 and the breadth is 15 for AEFD, and no, not like this. Let's make, and you have EBCF. So the area is length into breadth, that's 15 into 24. Again, for it, this is length into breadth, which is 9 into 24, which is equals to 15 into 24 would be 4 5s are 20, 360. This will be 360 centimeters square, and 9 into 24 would be 216 centimeters square. So how much does each exceed the other? So 360 minus 216, which is equals to 144 centimeters square. That's your answer. Okay, so the second method for finding the perimeter part, the part that said the perimeter of AEFD exceeds the perimeter of EBCF, the other method would be to just simply find the perimeter of ABCD and then subtract the perimeter of AEFD if you do not get the idea of taking out EB. Like you have 15 over here and you are not, it's not hitting you, it's not clicking you that you can take out EB from by subtracting AB from AE. You're not getting that idea. Then you can simply find the perimeter of ABCD minus the perimeter of AEFD will give you the perimeter of EBCF. That is again one more method. You can try doing it on your own. You will come up with the same answer. All right. Now coming to the next question is the third question of the exercise. Mind you, I've already explained that we are not doing all the questions. You can do a second question on your own. You should do second question on your own. What I suggest is always pause the video wherever you find comfortable when you have understood, and solve the question again on your own. And then you can do the second question, the other question too on your own. That way you'll have the confidence of doing it by yourself, and the confidence builds like that. Maths is not a reading subject, it's a practicing subject. Practice, 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 and that's it. Alright, the area of a rectangle plot is 540 meters square. Now what is the area? This whole part here, this is 540 meters square. If the length is 27 meters, you need to find its breadth and perimeter. Right, it's fairly easy because the area is given. It's 540 meters square and the length is given as 27 meters. You need to find the breadth and the perimeter. Let's start with applying the formula of area, because you have area and you have length. So you can apply the formula of area. So substituting the values, area के नीचे area 540, length 27, you don't have breadth, into B. Now applying your algebra knowledge, 540 by 27 is equals to B. Correct? Cut this will go 1 times and this goes 20 times. So B is 20 meter. Box your answer. Always box your answer. Now you have breadth. Perimeter, it would be very easy to follow, to find. It's 2 into L plus B. Again, the formula comes 2. What's the length? 27 plus 20. Go into 47. 2 7s are 14. 1 2 4 are 8 9. 94 meter. That's the perimeter. That's the second part of your question. So this is the answer to the second part and this is the first part. So you have it, perimeter and the breadth. There you go. All right, so either of the way you can find things out. If you have the perimeter also given and it asks you to find the breadth and the length, it's easier. Again, substitute the values given and you come up and you find the unknown value by virtue of your algebraic knowledge, and then that's it. You keep substituting and it's like a puzzle. All right, so the sixth question is, the area of a square park is the same as that of a rectangular park. If the side of the square park is 60 meters and the length of the rectangular park is 90, find the breadth of the rectangular park. Okay, so in some questions, as in how you go forward, you will be facing more advanced questions, more challenging questions, and that is actually very intriguing and that's very nice. So the area of the square park, so this is the area, and the area of the rectangular park, this, they are both equal is what they are saying. They did not give you the number, but they are telling you that they both are equal. So what we understand is the area of square is equals to area of rectangle. So the area of square would be S. Area of square would be S into S. And area of rectangle would be L into B. Now you know the side of the square given as 60 and the length of the rectangular park is given as 90. You have these two values and these are enough really. Now you substitute the values over here. You have S into S, that's 60 into 60, and this is actually equal to, what is the length? 90 into breadth. You understand that we have actually formed an equation at this point. At this point, we have actually formed an equation, what we have learned in linear equations, where we have learned to make equations by reading questions. That's exactly what we have done over here. We have equated the two areas, and then since we didn't have a number for that, we equated their formulas, because then essentially they are the same. Technically that is it. And then we substitute the values of the sides and the length and breadth. We have substituted all the parameters. Now we go forward to finding the unknown. So all right, implementing your algebraic knowledge, 60 into 60 by 90, because this is in the numerator, it comes here in the denominator on the other side, which is equals to breadth. Now at this point, please understand that I do not want you to, do 60 into 60, make it 3600, and then divide it by 90. You can, if you are very good, then if you're very good with numbers and you remember all your tables, then that is good, you can do it. But if you're not, and if you're struggling, and if you doubt yourself to make mistakes, which is very common, and maths, the language of maths is such that you can make mistakes, error is inevitable. So it's better to simply put it as this, where you have simpler numbers to deal with. Okay, I would not suggest doing this unless really necessary. So now you go forward with your cancelling. So you cut the 0 with 1 0, 1 0 in the denominator, 1 0 in the numerator. Now you start again. What's left? That's 9. So you can go 9, 3 3s are 9, 3 2s are 6. You've used 3 table. Again you go 3 table, 3 1s are 3, and 3 2s are 6. So what are you left with? B is equals to 2 2s are 4, and there is a 0 left. Do not forget this, it's 40. What is the unit? It's meters. Box your answer. Do not ever forget your units. Your units are very important. That's your answer. So it is very, very simple. You just have to make sure that you're following the question very properly. That's it. Okay. Coming to the next question. So there is a wire. A wire is in the shape of a rectangle. Its length is 40 centimeter and the breadth is 22 centimeter. So if the same wire is rebent in the shape of a square, what will be the measure of each side? Also, which shape encloses more area and by how much? The last part of the question is very similar to the first question that we saw, where we see that how much one area exceeds the other area, right? Very similar to that question. So we know what to do. You just know that there is a wire, okay? A wire which is actually shaped into different shapes. All right. So now this is when it is in the shape of a rectangle. The length is 40 and the breadth is 22. And what we do is understand that the perimeter of the rectangle is actually the length of the wire, isn't it? If I open up this rectangle, won't it become a very straight wire? It's going to become a straight wire, which is again shaped into square. So what I really need is just the perimeter. Once I get the perimeter, from there I'm going to find out the size, the side of the square. All right, so let's just once we go through it, you will understand it much better. So the perimeter of the rectangle is what? 2 into L plus B. What's your length? It's 40. And what's your breadth? It's 22. Now continue doing the calculations. That will be 62. 2 2s are 4, 2 6 are 12. Yeah, so this is 124 centimeters is the length of the wire. Now 124 centimeters is also again this wire is again bent into the square. So there you have it, the perimeter of square is again going to be 124 centimeters, right? Because it's the same wire you're using, it's 124 centimeters, right? So now you have 124 equals to 4s. So s equals to 124 by 4, 4 ones are, 4 threes are, and ones are. It's 31 centimeters. That's the side of your square, and you will box it. Whatever part you have not understood or you're struggling a little, please pause the video and go through it again. Now you need to find out which shape encloses more area and by how much. So we need the values again. So the area of rectangle was what? It was 40 by 22. The length, let's write down the data. The length was 40 and the breadth was 22. For the area of square, the side was 31. So the area of rectangle would be 40 into 22, which is equals to 880 centimeters square. Do not forget the square. And area of this square would be 31 into 31, which is equals to 961 centimeter square. So clearly your area of the square is more. And how much more does it enclose? So area of square exceeds area of rectangle by 961 minus 880, which will be, this will become 581 centimeters square. That's your answer. Box it. Oh, there you have it. Coming to the next question, we have the 8th one. A door of breadth 1 meter and height 2 meter is fitted into a wall. The length of the wall is 4.5 meters and the height is 3.6 meters. Find the cost of whitewashing the wall if the rate of washing the wall is ₹400 per square meter. Alright, so now here you see in the adjoining figure, this figure is not given in the textbook. We have made it. Half of the question becomes very clear if you have it in a diagram. So try to make a diagram if you can, and that solves a lot of the problem. Visually, when you have the problem in front of you in the form of a diagram, the rest is easy really. Alright, so now we want to find this area. This is what we want to whitewash, isn't it? We don't want to wash the door. But since the door is in the area of the wall, we need to subtract the area of the door to get the area of the wall. So for that reason, what we'll be doing is we'll be first finding out the area of the door. Is the length into breadth. Now we don't really have the length, it's the height given, so it's the same thing. It's 2 meters into 1 meter, which is equals to 2 into 1 is 2, meter into meter will be meter square. 2 meter square is the area of the door. We need the area of the wall now. So the length of the wall is 4.5 into 3.6 meters, which would be, I hope everybody remembers how to multiply 4.5 into 3.6. So what I do is I do not take the points when you are doing multiplication. You don't really need it. You simply you remove the points and you start multiplying, and whatever you get, There you will adjust the points as is. So 6 5s are 30 and 6 4s are 24, 25, 26, 27 is over here. 3 5s are 15, 3 4s are 12, 13. There you go. 1620. Now I have the value as 1620. Now I will see, I need to replace the decimal. I will not forget about it. So there are how many digits after the decimal in both the values? See, there's 1 over here and there's 1 over here. So there are 2 digits after the decimal, and that is how we'll place it in the answer. It will have 2 digits after the decimal. So this is the value of the this is the area of the wall. That's 16.20 meters square. Now how do I get the area of the wall that needs to be whitewashed? For washing, that will be, I'm just going to remove this, we don't need this. It will be 16.20 minus your 2, this 2, right? If I remove the door from the total area of the wall, I will get the whitewash, the wall required for whitewashing. And again, I hope nobody forgets how we subtract in decimals. Remember, I hope this has rung a bell. 14.20 meters square is the answer. This is the another one. So this is the area of the wall that is required for whitewashing. Now you need to find out how much money is required for whitewashing the entire area. Now per meter square, it's taking 400 rupees. Now you start writing over here. Cost of washing the wall is equals to 400 rupees per meter square. Now area of wall to be washed was how much? 16.20 meters square? No, 14. I'm sorry. 14.20 meters square. So therefore cost equals to 14.20 into 400. For the initiate people who are just who do not understand what has happened over here, is for 1 meter square is 400 rupees is the cost. For 14.20 meters square, you need to keep adding 400 plus 400 plus 400. You keep adding it for 14 meter squares, right? So what's repeated addition? It's multiplication. That is why we have done this. That is why we have multiplied. So now the value would be again 0 into 4. Now the zeros I'll add later. This would become 568. So this is 568000. Okay, now 2 digits after the decimal over here. There's no decimal over here, but there are 2 digits after the decimal over here. That's the reason I'm going to place the decimal over here, and that's the amount that's been required, 5680. For those who have not understood what I have done over here, let me explain it to you over here. 1420. No, let's not take the 0. into 4. We do not, when you have zeros at the end of the numbers, you totally disregard it in the multiplication, because that leads to more errors and you will definitely end up with the wrong answer. It's a given actually. So you just remember that there are 3 zeros and there's nothing. If the 0 is coming at the last, that is, if the 0 is coming in the middle, then you don't do that. You will take the entire number. Suppose if the number was 1402, you will not ignore this 0. You will definitely take 1402 into 4. Okay, now here you have 14.20 at the last and 400. So I will ignore these 3 zeros and I'll add them rest later on in my answer. I will continue my multiplication over here as is. 4 to the 8, 4 4 the 16, 4 1 the 4, 5. I have 568. I wrote 568 and I had 3 zeros to add. 1 2 3. That's how I added 3 zeros. And then I do remember the decimal I have to place, which is going to come before the 2 digits. So that's how I got my answer. Hope I'm